What's going on, y'all? It's your boy AB, and welcome back to the Presence Project. Now, today's video is just going to be a quick lesson on a chapter that I've read in this book called Atomic Habits. Now, the book is by someone named James Clear, and it's a really good book, so you should check it out. But with no further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Now, this specific video or this specific chapter is about how your identity ties to your habits. Now, most people focus on what they want, which is the outcome, and they try to focus on how to get there, which is the process. But real change comes with identity, who you want to become. Now, the first topic is the three layers of change, and you imagine it like an onion. So, the outside of the onion or the outside layer is the outcome. The layer underneath that is the process, and the layer underneath that is the identity. And a lot of people go in that order. A lot of people believe in order to get an outcome, you have to stick to the process. And by sticking to that process, you will become that person. But this book argues that it's actually the opposite. Instead of looking at it from the outside in, you have to look at it from the inside out. So you have to look at it by changing your identity first, then sticking to the process based on that identity, and eventually you'll get the outcome. So, for example, let's say your outcome is to lose 20 pounds. The process to do that is to go to the gym. And after you go to the gym for long enough, you feel like you are an athlete. This book tells you to look at that from the complete opposite direction. You embody the mindset of someone who is an athlete. You tell yourself, hey, I am an athlete. By telling yourself you're an athlete, you stick to the process of going to the gym. You're not going to the gym to lose 20 pounds. You're going to the gym because you're an athlete, and that's what athletes do. And eventually, by sticking to that process, you will get the outcome. So instead of focusing on what you want to achieve, focus on who you want to become. Now, the next concept that we're going to look at is the vote concept. And that is every single action that you make on a daily basis. Majority of the actions that you make on a daily basis need to be votes towards the person you want to become. If you want to become an athlete, your decisions on a daily basis should be decisions that are votes towards you becoming an athlete. If you want to be better at cooking, your votes on a daily basis needs to vote for the person who is a cook. If you want to become more knowledgeable, your actions on a daily basis need to be votes towards making you smarter or more knowledgeable. Habits, you don't get to an outcome based on just faking it till you make it. You have to actually build evidence. So building evidence means that you continuously make votes. If I get up every day and I go to the gym and I tell myself I'm going to the gym because I'm an athlete, that's me continuously voting or making votes towards me being an athlete. And eventually, me casting so many votes towards the person I want to become, it is going to eventually get me the outcome inevitably simply because I have embodied the person who does that or the person who gets that result in the end. So the entire voting concept is basically just continuing to showing up and just building a habit through small repetition. So the next concept is reframing your mindset on what you want and who you are. So let's say you want to write a book. Instead of saying, hey, I want to write a book, you say, I am a writer. Instead of saying, hey, I want to become someone who's financially free, you say, I am someone who has financial literacy. Instead of focusing on, what you want or what you want to do or where you want to go, focus on who you want to be because you're more likely to want to align your actions with your self image. And a good example of that is if you consider yourself a runner, you're not going to debate if you're going to go out for a run today. You're going to run because that's what a runner does. So once you self-identify as someone who is a runner, it's no longer a decision of am I going to run today? It's no, I'm going to run because I am a runner. That's what runners do. Now, the next one is kind of like this loop that gets created by identity. So your habits will reinforce your identity, and identity ends up making the habits easier. So the more you continue to do something, like I said, the more votes you are casting to becoming that type of person or becoming that person. And that works vice versa. The more you embody that identity, the easier it is for you to stick to the habit. But old identities can hold you back in certain ways. So let's say you're someone that says, hey, I'm just naturally bad with money, or I'm bad with math, or I'm just not a morning person. That's you sticking an identity to certain habits that you have that are negative, because no habits are really good or bad. Like they say in the book, they just cast different votes. Some cast votes towards the person you want to be, some cast votes away from the person you want to be. So no habit is actually bad or good. It just depends on what that habit does for you. They just have consequences. So if you continue to hold on to certain identities like, oh, I'm just not a morning person, or oh, I'm just lazy on the weekends, then you're anchoring yourself and you're not allowing yourself the chance to actually grow and the chance to break bad habits and form new ones. So what you have to do is intentionally shed that old way of thinking to make way for a new one. So in order for you to actually embody the identity of someone who is better than who you are now or wherever you see yourself in the future, you have to make sure that your old mindset or your old identities that hold you back, you get rid of them and you get rid of those mindsets and you start to cast votes or make daily decisions that put you closer to the person that you want to become. Now, the last and final cue is to basically start small and build evidence. And this piggybacks off of the last 2 points, but you have to start small. Don't try to change the world overnight. Don't try to reach your goal in a week or 2 weeks or a month when you know that's something that could take 6 months to a year to 2 years. Start small. Anything you're trying to do, any outcome you're looking for, start small. But no matter where you start, make sure that where you start is a vote towards the person that you want to become. Make sure that you don't worry about how close you got today. Don't worry about how close you're going to get tomorrow, next week, next month. Don't focus on that. Just focus on making sure that the decisions that you make on a daily basis are casting votes towards the person that you want to become. Because the quicker that you can pick up the identity of who is, you can stick with the process and become that person and get that outcome. So that's just a quick rundown. I'm trying to make these videos a little bit quicker, a little bit more concise. I'm trying to, take this information and kind of, you know, pack it into shorter videos so I can just get out content a little bit more consistently. But I'm gonna continue to do this. I'm gonna continue to take points from books that I've been reading because I got the book right here. I'm gonna continue to take points from them and just find different chapters or different things I want to dissect and break down that I feel like people could benefit from, especially if I've benefited from it. But I appreciate anybody that's watching. I appreciate anybody that's taking the time to give me a listen. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, share this with anybody that you feel like could benefit from this message. I thank y'all once again. I pray for each and every one of y'all that's watching, everybody that's out there. I pray for your good health and I pray for your situation. I pray that you become closer to the best version of yourself that you can be every single day. And remember, the goal is just to try to get at least 1% better every single day. Every single day, do something that will cast a vote towards you becoming the person you want to be, no matter what that person is, whether that's an athlete, that's someone who's financially free, that's someone that's a writer, a musician. No matter what it is that you want to be, think about who that person is that you want to become, and every day make a decision that casts a vote towards that person, towards that identity. But I appreciate y'all, man, once again, and until we meet again, peace.